Have you ever felt like you're playing a role in your own life? Like there's a gap between who you truly are and the person you present to the world? What if I told you that this feeling isn't just in your head? It's a fundamental human experience that neuroscience, spiritual traditions, and acting methodologies have all independently discovered. I'm Mark Roach, and welcome to Transcendent. After spending 30 years studying acting techniques, 25 years working with therapists, and decades exploring spiritual practices from Gurdjieff to human design, I've discovered something profound. Most of us are trapped in performances we don't even realize that we're giving. This isn't just my personal observation. Modern neuroscience, particularly the work of researchers like Moran Cerf, has shown that explanations for our own behaviors are often completely disconnected from the neural processes actually driving our decisions. In one remarkable study, neural data predicted consumer choices with 68% accuracy, while people's verbal explanations achieved only 42% accuracy. What this means is revolutionary. We're not just performing for others, we're performing for ourselves, creating stories about who we are that simply aren't supported by what's happening in our brains. In this 9-part Authenticity Breakthrough series, I'll take you on a journey beyond the performance trap towards genuine presence and authenticity. We'll explore the performance trap, how we become actors in our own lives, and why explanations for our behaviors are often completely disconnected from reality. Beyond the mask, what happens when repetition exercises break through personality patterns to reveal authentic responses? The neural pathway to presence, what neuroscience reveals about authentic response, and why our brains resist it. Design for authenticity, how human design reveals your unique path to truth and decision making. Integration, bringing your shadow into the light through embodied practices. Human design, a deeper exploration of your energetic blueprint. The dual nature of darkness, understanding the difference between evil and enlightenment. Beyond dominance and fear, embracing the path of surrender. Beyond the breakthrough, I'll share advanced practices for deeper transformation. We're living in an age of unprecedented performance pressure. Social media has turned everyday life into a constant stage. A line between authenticity and performance has never been blurrier. The mental health consequences are everywhere: anxiety, depression, and a pervasive sense of disconnection. But there's hope. By understanding the mechanisms of our own performance patterns, we can begin to transcend them. By learning to access authentic presence, we can experience a freedom and connection that no performance, however convincing, can provide. This isn't theoretical for me. My journey began on the football field, where I channeled anger from childhood trauma into athletic performance. This character was so convincing to me and everybody else that it nearly led to a professional career. I believed that that was my authentic self at that time. Years later, in an acting workshop, I discovered I had no idea how simply to be present and respond truthfully in the moment. The realization was devastating and liberating. The strength I'd been so proud of was actually a sophisticated defense mechanism, a performance that I'd mastered to really protect myself. Through decades of exploration, from Meisner acting techniques to human design, from fasting practices to shadow work, I've discovered practical pathways beyond performance to authentic presence. This series isn't about adding another layer of performance, becoming more authentic as a new identity. It's about seeing through the performances that you're already giving and discovering what remains when you stop performing. You'll learn practical techniques to recognize when you're performing, how to access authentic responses in challenging situations, your specific human design and how it reveals your path to authenticity, ways to integrate shadow aspects you've been denying, advanced practices for those ready to go deeper. Whether you're new to personal development or you've been on this path for decades, this series offers fresh insights and practical tools for transcending performance and accessing genuine presence. Each episode builds on the previous one, creating a comprehensive system for authentic living. I encourage each of you to watch them in sequence and experience and experiment with the practices between episodes. The first episode, The Performance Trap, How We Become Actors in Our Own Lives, launches, well, now. I'm making this series completely available immediately. Subscribe and join our community of seekers committed to moving beyond performance toward authentic presence. Remember, authenticity isn't something you create. It's what remains when you stop performing. I'm Mark Roach, and I look forward to sharing this journey with you on Transcendent.